Video title: He failed $1 times. At 65, he built $1 billion empire. He if intro usest ioni houstev. Hello, my wonderful friends. Welcome back. Let me ask you something honestly. Are you in your 20s or 30s and feel like you're already behind? Are you 40, 50, or beyond, looking at your life and thinking, is this it? Has my chance for greatness passed? Or maybe you're just in a tough spot, unemployed, struggling, and it feels like the world has closed its doors. If any of that sounds familiar, stop. Just for the next 15 minutes, stop. Because today, I'm going to show you the story of a man who had every reason to give up. He was broke, jobless, and felt hopeless at the age of 65. But instead of retiring, he built one of the most iconic brands in the world. This is not just a success story. This is proof that your current situation is not your final destination. This is the story of Colonel Harlan Sanders and the birth of KFC. ACT LF off Howard Shani Yura Mick Ostua. Our story begins in 1890 in a small town in Indiana. Harlan David Sanders was born into a world of struggle. Tragedy struck early. At just 5 years old, his father died, leaving his mother to raise 3 children alone. Imagine that. At an age when a child's biggest worry should be playing, Harlan was learning to cook, clean, and care for his siblings. This was where his relationship with food began, out of pure necessity. By 7, he was working on a farm. By 10, he was a full-time farmhand, earning $2,000 a month. Life was a relentless grind. When his mother remarried, his stepfather was harsh and abusive. So, at the age of 12 years, Harlan did the only thing he could think of. He ran away from home. And so began a decades-long parade of jobs. He was a streetcar conductor, army mule tender in Cuba, railroad fireman, insurance salesman, tire salesman, ferryboat operator. The list goes on. Over 20 different jobs before he was 40, and in nearly every one, he failed. He was fired, he quit, businesses went under. He couldn't find his footing. While his peers were building families and careers, Harlan Sanders was just surviving. By 40, he had nothing to show for a lifetime of work. Most people would see this as a definitive record of failure, but Harlan was about to make a small pivot. If ACTHE spar, and T collapsis, Hastif. Finally, at 40 years old, he caught a break. He operated a small service station in Corbin, Kentucky. To attract travelers, he started serving home-cooked meals, including fried chicken, from his own living quarters. People loved it. Word spread. This wasn't just chicken. It was made with a unique method, using a pressure fryer and a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. His reputation grew so much that the governor of Kentucky later awarded him the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel. He built a small motel and restaurant. For the first time, it seemed like stability, even success, was within reach. He was in his 50s, a respected local figure. But life, as it often did for Harlan, had other plans. In the 1950s, the U.S. government built a new interstate highway, Fossai 75s. It bypassed his town entirely. Overnight, the traffic to his restaurant vanished. His business, built over 15 years, collapsed. He was forced to sell. At 62 years old, Harlan Sanders was broke again. He had nothing but a $105 monthly Social Security check, an old car, and his secret chicken recipe. This was the lowest point. This was the moment where the story could have ended, the logical conclusion to a life of hardship. ACTSETHE1 Sazo 9 Naos. Osus. Diff. But here's what separates the ordinary from the legendary. At rock bottom, Colonel Sanders had a crazy idea. He wouldn't open another restaurant. Instead, he would franchise his pa's recipe. He would drive from restaurant to restaurant, cook his chicken for owners, and offer them a deal. You pay me a nickel for every chicken you sell using my recipe and method. Think about this. He was age 62. Most of his friends were retired. He had no money, no real plan, just unwavering belief in his chicken. So, he put on his best white suit, styled his goatee, and became the Colonel as a marketing tool. He packed his car with a pressure cooker, flour, and spices and hit the road. Hostish. He faced rejection after rejection after rejection. Owners said his idea was stupid. They said no one would pay for a recipe. They told an old man to go home. He slept in the back of his car to save money. He ate his own chicken for meals. He faced humiliation daily. How many rejections would you withstand? 10? 50? 100? Colonel Sanders was rejected by 9 times. For 2 years, he heard no over 1,000 times. Let that sink in. 1,000 failures stacked on top of a lifetime of failures. But he only needed one yes. Steve, and finally, on trip number 1010 in Salt Lake City, Utah, a restaurant owner named Pete Harmon said yes. That first franchise deal changed everything. That one yes proved the model could work. More restaurants slowly signed on. FACTIVTHEMPIRENTHE paradox OFSS Jets. Inustif Faf, 65 years old, with those first franchise deals. Kentucky Fried Chicken was officially born. The brand exploded. The unique taste and the recognizable face of the Colonel were a hit. By 1964, there were over 600 franchises. The man who was sleeping in his car at 62 was now the head of a multi-million-dollar empire. But here comes a painful twist. Sanders, the creative force, the cook, the face, was not a corporate manager. The rapid growth overwhelmed him. At K7 tired of the stress, he made a fateful decision. He sold the KFC Corporation for $2 million. Tough. It seemed like a happy ending, a rich, beloved icon. But it became his biggest regret. The new owners went public, and KFC became worth billions. Sanders watched as they changed his recipes, prioritizing cost over quality. He became publicly critical, calling the new product a damn slop and horrible. He felt he had sold his life's work. Even in success, he found a new kind of struggle. He spent his final years as a brand ambassador, a living legend, but haunted by what could have been. Colonel Harlan Sanders passed away in 1980 at 90. Today, KFC is a $1 billion giant with over 27,000 restaurants in 150 countries. The Ser every single one traces back to that old man in a white suit who refused to quit. So, what do we learn from this 15-minute journey? 1. Wash your past does not define your future. Sanders' life until 65 was a resume of failure. Your future success is not dictated by your past struggles. 2. Persistence is your superpower. 1009 knows. The difference between failure and success is often just one more try. 3. Age is truly just a number. He built an empire at an age society says to retire. It's never, ever too late. 4. First, belief is everything. He believed in his product when no one else did. What do you believe in that strongly? His story isn't about easy success. It's about gritty, stubborn, relentless perseverance. It's about hitting rock bottom and using that solid ground to push off from. House If you're watching this and you're struggling, I want you to think of the Conal at 62 in his car with nothing but an idea. Your chapter is not over. Your IS could be the very next door you knock on, the very next idea you try. So here's your call to action. 1. His leader, hit the like button if this story reminded you that your time is not up. 2. Subscribe for more stories that turn struggle into strength. 3. Comment below with one word that describes how you feel now. Is it full? Motivated, ready. 4. As most importantly, today takes one small action toward your goal. Just one. Research, make a call, write the first sentence. Start. The road to your success is paved with the lessons from your failures. Don't you dare give up on yourself. Your story is still being written. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.